I have nothing but love for the captain and his berry balls. Happy holidays, my friend. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Chris, and I hope that your Christmas holiday has been filled with all the magic and cheer that can only come following the digestion of a gingerbread Mountain Dew on Christmas Eve. Indigestion aside, it is a glorious day made all the better by you who voted overwhelmingly to choose my next video, which was the breakfast to end all breakfasts. My plan today is to make today's episode probably the longest one that I've ever done and really get into the cereal. I want to talk about it. I want to play the games on the back of the boxes, and most together, I want to have a fun-filled episode together, just you and me. We together, but mostly me, are going to eat 8 different kinds of Captain Crunch and determine which of these is worthy of the captain. And your timing is on point, given that the captain is affectionately known as the Santa Claus of the sea. I mean, maybe. I'm just guessing. He's got a big white mustache, so ho ho ho, ye mateys.
Milk and cereal. Cereal, cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk.
Now, my main man, Captain Crunch, has been with us at least as long as I've been alive, and to be honest, I'm not really interested in doing any research today to find out how much longer than me the cereal has been around. It's the holiday long weekend. Thinking and research are completely off the table today. You're getting my best guesses and made up facts, and you're gonna like it. One thing I am sure about, however, is that the captain spent most of the 80s trying to save the majestic Crunchberry bush from being stolen while doing battle with a hapless group of villains called the Soggies. The Soggies are the cereal version of the Putties from the Power Rangers, in that they're really no threat to anybody ever. They have a win-loss percentage of 0 and have incredibly bizarre marching orders. Specifically, the Soggies are under strict orders to make the world soggy and ruin breakfast for planet Earth. And now who's behind the Soggies? An evil genius called the Sogmaster. I don't want to point my fingers too deep underneath that cloak of darkness, but I can say with definitive certainty the Sogmaster is also the Quaker oatmeal guy.
Start an oatmeal fund.
You're never going to be able to unsee that. Now, the captain over here, whose full name is Horatio Magellan Crunch, and I'm not making that up, and his ship, the Mustache Ride, which I'm possibly making up, were able to save the world and breakfast time and again behind the power of their cereal, which never gets soggy. In fact, it'll cut up the roof of your mouth like you ran it through a cheese grater if you're not careful. We haven't heard from the Soggies in years, to the best of my knowledge, but I'll admit I no longer watch Saturday morning cartoons. So presumably the Soggies died from diabetes alongside Wilford Brimley, and the captain's now living a life of retirement in his home, which is Crunch Island, a majestic island off the coast of Ohio in the Sea of Milk. Is there LSD in this cereal? Where the hell does the marketing team come up with this stuff? All right, y'all, let's crunch some Captain. I think it's important to start with the original so that we have a baseline when rating the other ones. This one here is the barometer, the compass, the poop deck of the Captain Crunch line. Now you may have noticed on the box, Captain Crunch, or as he's called in French, Capitaine Crunch, is screaming that it is cruncherific, or in French say, crunchific. So I'm gonna hold this man accountable. If this is lacking anything in the crunch or crunch departments, I'm gonna hop on the first boat to Ohio and have some words with the captain. That's definitely crunchy. I don't think I've taken a crunch that big since the onion ring poutine settled inside of me. The flavor is sort of a generic sugar cereal thing, like corn pops if you're familiar with those. It's just corn and sugar, but without being jacked up with any of the fake fruit flavors that we're almost certainly gonna see in some of the other options this morning. Now, what might tip the rating back in his favor significantly is the fact that the back of this box comes with a fun number of children's games. While I mull over rating this cereal, let's see if we can work through this challenging solar system maze. You know, I thought he was a boat captain. Have the writers run out of ideas and just sent him into space? I'm really confused. Okay, so we start here. And let's just get into, oh goodness, we've crashed into an asteroid right away. Is there, no, there's no way around that. Okay, we're gonna have to backtrack. There's the captain. We'll just scoot around his ship there. work our way over here, past the star, back into the inner circle again, and oh goodness, just asteroids everywhere we go. Okay, they're knocking us back out. So we'll circle around more. I don't see a good entry spot. Oh, maybe we can circle around this satellite dish here. I think I nipped the wing of the satellite. NASA's gonna be incredibly unhappy with me. However, the home base is within view. No, I don't want to hit that moon. That wouldn't be good. Look, it's got like a sharp edge on it. That would do some serious damage to the captain's ship. So we'll circle around, and there he is, back on Earth. And in fact, let's send him back to Ohio so he's completely and totally at home. That was way too hard. This is for children. Like, I'm not even going to try these other puzzles. I feel like this connect the dots would confuse Stephen Hawking. Online reviews for the Captain Crunch are pretty sound overall. Faith Chick, for example, gives these 5 stars and writes, "Very yummy. I am lactose and gluten intolerant, and I can eat this without any intestine problems. I normally eat very healthy, but I wanted a treat. These are not too sweet. I don't have a big bowl, though. I thought it would be much sweeter. All 4 boxes came in great condition, no damage. Quite delicious, good price too, enjoy, smiley, thumbs up." Even some of the dissatisfied customers, like Amazon Customer, are still handing out 3 stars, writing 3 stars. "It seems like they don't taste the same than when I was young, but still like them." So all in all, this is a solid entry, but I feel like we've got some room to grow. Given the old nostalgic feeling, on my official Captain Crunch rating scale, this one earns I love you long tide. Oh, and Faith Chick, hopefully for Christmas, you got a bigger bowl.
Milk and cereal. Cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk.
Up next, we've got Captain Crunch with Crunchberries. This box is indicating, clear as day, that these are new. And you know what? I don't think so, Captain. Captain Crunch with Crunchberries have been around since the 60s, so I'm not entirely sure what stunt the Captain is trying to pull here. It also looks like there was probably a coupon attached to the front of this box once upon a time, but some shameless scumbag stole it. That could have been a $1 off coupon for something, and with today's rising inflation, I needed that $1. Thieving pirates, I should send the Captain after you. So there's no maze on the back of this box, just French writing, so we're left with nothing but cereal. And while it might take away some points after that maze, I'm a little bit relieved. I don't have to try to use my brain to figure anything out. There's 4 colors of Crunchberries being advertised on the box: blue, green, red, and purple, and thankfully all of them were included with my cereal. I'm gonna try them before adding milk and see if we can identify which is which. I'm pretty sure those are all exactly the same thing. What a letdown. What's the point of a multicolored Crunchberry bush if the colors are meaningless? I mean, it's not like I'm gonna blame the Captain for this. He simply harvests the fruit. It's not like he decided what colors the bush bred. I'm just really confused. Those are really good. The Crunchberries, I feel, are better than the original cereal. And while it's not as glaring like if Lucky Charms had a no marshmallow cereal, which would be like eating pencil shavings, the Crunchberries definitely add a really good flavor contrast. So already, we've exceeded the original cereal. Online reviews are a little bit more mixed, however. Tashley, for example, gave these 3 stars and wrote, "Tastes really oily. My daughter seems to like it dry. With milk, it tastes kinda nasty. When I tried it, for some reason, tasted really oily. I gave it 3 stars because my daughter eats in, and she's in the stage right now where she is picky with what she decides to eat. But I, on the other hand, refuse to eat it again. I doubt I'll be purchasing it again because I'm all the way in Jamaica and had to ship it out. If I want crappy cereal, I'll buy it locally." However, FollowMeBack.s gives it 5 stars and believes that this cereal is the gateway to free stuff, writing, excuse me, ma'am or sir or other, Captain Crunch is the OG. It is sweet and beautiful and delicious. I don't even like cereal, but I like myself some of that Cap'n Crunch. You can eat it dry. You can eat it with milk. Just don't eat it with water, you sinners. Jucka, 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 jucka. That was probably offensive. Sorry. Follow me on Influencer so I can get free stuff. We'll let Courtney W break the tie, giving it 2 stars and a big thumbs down, writing, I don't care for the berry balls in this cereal. My kids love it, but I find it throws the taste of the original Cap'n Crunch cereal pieces off. Great price and change for the kids, though. Well, Courtney, I'm afraid that we don't see eye to eye on this one. I have nothing but love for the Captain and his berry balls. So, I'm going to rate these higher than the original Cap'n Crunch, giving these berry balls a rating of Seaman's Delight.
Milk and cereal. Cereal, cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk.
Cap'n Crunch all berries. And not just all berries, it's oops, all berries. We made a huge mistake, y'all, and we just need to underscore that point. Oops, we're such klutzes, we didn't mean to do this. But thankfully we had this stylish box ready to go, and we're gonna pass the mistake on to you, the consumer. Some exciting news though. We've got a game on the back of this box. It's a word search, and we're gonna need to find the names of each of his friends. So let's see how we do. In this game, there are a list of names provided here, but truth be told, I don't want any cheats. So we're gonna find the names on our own without any help from the captain and his crew. Oh, and here's a good name right here. Bosket. All right, now which one of these folks feels like a Bosket? I'm gonna go with this guy here, F. Bosket to me feels like a clumsy helper, you know, the kind of guy who has a second helping of breakfast and now his shirt won't fit. But he's a little too low on the ship's hierarchy to ask the captain for a new one. So, Bosket, it is. Perfect. And would you look at that, over here is Flab. I'm gonna give the name Flab to the elephant over here. You know, I can't give it to any of the human characters, that would just be mean, but Flab feels like the kind of wacky name that you'd give an elephant, but like in a cute way. He's got a little flab, but it's expected. He's an elephant. Not like Bosket, who's just let himself go, and frankly, we've noticed. Here's another name, Drat. We're reading it upside down, folks, Drat. While I'm tempted to give this name to this here monster-looking guy, I'm actually gonna go with the pirate. Drat the pirate. His plans are always being foiled by the captain and his crew. Drat! We're gonna get them next time. And all of his Crunchberries too. Otis. Now, Otis is definitely the first mate over here. Otis is the kind of guy that you can rely on. Man the sails, Otis, is something the captain has definitely called upon. He'd ask Bosket, but Bosket's currently face down in his 3rd bowl of Crunchberries this morning. So we're gonna have to turn to Otis. Oh, and we have Carl. Now, the dog has a C on his hat, so there's no question that I think that we've got our Carl. Carl's a good dog's name, I think. Come here, Carl. And he wouldn't answer because he's a dog. All right, we got 3 names left. Oh, and here's a good one. Twoffle. Now, Twoffle feels like the name of a frying pan distributor, but it's also the name of this happy, squealing young lady up here. You know, Twoffle is maybe of Greek origin, and she's potentially Greek, I guess. Twoffle fits. And speaking of perfect fits, how about Soy? Soy is definitely the guy who's got a bowl on his head. He looks like he's a vegan, and he probably wants to tell you all about it. Thankfully, because he's wearing a bowl, nobody has to sit down and listen to Soy. You can wander off, and he's none the wiser. He'll just keep talking. All right, Doug. Now, Doug would have been a great dog's name, but because there's no D on his hat, we're gonna need to find out which of these characters is in fact all about the D. I'm gonna go with this love-struck heroine over here. She looks like a Doug. And that leaves us with whatever this is. Maybe a baseball mascot? I'm just gonna reuse the letters in Flab, and now we've got Balf. When he's not helping pull the ship into port, he's employed by the Milwaukee Brewers to cheer on the sausage race. Thanks, Balf. You're a big help. And there you go. We now know all the players inside the Captain Crunch universe. So that's exciting. And now we need to see if the cereal is as exciting as Doug, Bosket, and Tufal. Now let's be honest, we're not even eating Captain Crunch at this point, but a bastardized version of Trix. Oops really is an appropriate name for this cereal. What I like about the partial Captain Crunch and partial Crunchberries is that you get a blended flavor mix-up. You don't get that here. And that's kind of a letdown, an oops, if you will, because I really like the contrast. This, not as much. Now, if each of these berries had its own flavor per color, they'd really be onto something, but they're not. All right, let's check some reviews. And we're gonna start with Allison, who asks us to check the date of our cereal and gives it only 2 stars, writing, "They just did not taste the same. Every one of them tastes exactly the same. They used to have different flavors. Did not care for this. By the way, I live right next to Quaker Oats, and when they make those Crunchberries, boy, you can smell the cereal was not the same." Allison, I legitimately have no idea what you just said. I can tell that you feel something, but I'm gonna need you to spell out your words in the correct order next time. Jesse Van Martyr is a little more clear, writing, "Yum," and giving them 5 stars. "Man, I got that yummy, 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 yum. And it's filling up my tummy, 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 tum." Okay, now on another note, I love this frickin' cereal. I have bought 14 boxes this year. Forewarning, your tongue and poop will turn green if you eat too much in one day. 10 people found this helpful. Incidentally, backing up Jesse is somebody named CJ, writing, "It's like a drug," and giving it 5 stars. "I found my new favorite cereal, and I thought the other guy's review wasn't true, but this cereal really does make your poop green, LOL. Heavy on the dye? 5 stars, green poop and all, XD. 3 people found this helpful." That is a lot of information about the state of Amazon Prime users' poops. I, of course, am in no position to comment what it does to you since I literally just ate it. I am ready to rate it, however, as a flavor, and I'm gonna go with "you son of a beach," because I expected more from this.
Milk and cereal. Cereal, cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk.
Now we're starting to devolve into the weird and wacky ones. I'm not sure what cotton candy has to do with the high seas exactly, and there's really a limited amount of kitchen space inside of a vessel. If you're trying to convince me that they installed a cotton candy machine in their kitchen, I've got to argue they're really poor about using their counter space and are probably into trouble if they ever go on a real expedition. No games on this box either. All we've got is the French side with Capitaine Crunch Babapapa. Yeah, Babapapa. It is the French terminology for cotton candy, even though literally translated, it means daddy's beard. I want you to let that sink in for a second. I'm not going to do a deep dive about that. I'll leave each of you to your own wild imagination, but just understand that there's a children's sticky treat out there called Daddy's Beard. Now, before I add milk, I'm going to try the colors individually again, just to see if they mixed the flavors up at all between the pink and the blue. I can't really tell. It just tastes like a whole lot of sugar. Maybe the milk will help us sort through that. And I'm out of milk. I'll have to refill before the next cereal. That is sickeningly sweet. Wow, was that ever sugarified? I think both colors are the same thing, which is artificial cotton candy. And you know how some artificial flavors don't taste a thing like the actual thing they're supposed to, like grape or watermelon, but we instinctively know the candy flavor of them? Cotton candy has the same sort of thing going on, which is funny because cotton candy of itself is an artificial treat, but they can't seem to recreate that when they're putting it in as a flavor in candy, or in this case, cereal. All right, let's check the reviews and see what it does to our poop. My guess is that this cereal can be used for baby gender reveals. If you poop blue, you're having a boy. And if you poop pink, you're either having a girl or need to see a doctor immediately. Well, the news wasn't good for Sunshine Sammy, who gave these 1 star, writing, "I ate this sorrel 2 weeks ago and my stomach was sick. I thought it was some broccoli I ate. I was sick for 4 days. I went over everything I ate the night before, and the other night I ate differently from the rest of the family. Was the broccoli and this sorrel. Who would think sorrel would make their stomach sick? So I blame the broccoli, since lettuces and onions have been recalled lately. It would not be sorrel. Last night I ate 2 balls of this sorrel. This morning I am sick again. What the heck are you putting in this sorrel? What kind of dyes are in this sorrel? This sorrel tastes so good. I ate 2 bowls. Now I am sick again. Yuck." Things were better for Mickey, who gave these a life-changing 5 stars and wrote, "This cereal got me clean off heroin, reunited my family, and gave me something to believe in. I no longer wake up to stick myself with a rusty syringe. I wake up and pour myself a mason jar of this, then I got ponder life while shaking in my bathtub. I have my life back and no longer live in my truck. Thank you, Captain, you complete me. I kind of wish this was a joke. If they discontinue this cereal, I fear what will become of me. So as I sit here, mason jar empty, I'm waiting on word from you, Captain." So take your pick. You're either going to have the same kind of uncontrolled vomiting that comes from eating broccoli, apparently, or you'll immediately give up doing rusted intravenous drugs in the back of a truck and turn your life around. That's a lot to unpack for just a cereal. I'm gonna rate it Let's Get Ship-Faced, just for being a sugar-high alternative to heroin.
Milk and cereal. Cereal, cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk.
America, I don't mean to alarm you, but the captain has committed treason. He's become a Canadian. I'm sure this is gonna take some time for you to digest, especially with how brazen he's being about it. I mean, look at those fireworks. That salute. Frankly, it's amazing that he's had the restraint to keep from throwing away the captain's hat and start dressing like a Mountie. If I had to guess as to why he hasn't changed his hat, it's because he's simply afraid Bosket would immediately take over the wheel of the ship, while Soy would institute fair trade, ethically sourced trading of Crunchberries without his stern leadership keeping them in line. I mean, look at those meaty paws on the captain. He slapped a few of his crewmates around in his time. These are with us for a limited time, much like the captain's loyalty to his own country. We're advertising red and white berries in this cereal, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything, because as we've learned, the captain knows his colors, but he doesn't know his flavor. I love that in French it's Capitaine Crunch de chez nous, like we defend Quebec by using the word Canada. The good news is that these are not straight Crunchberries. Had they been the Oops cereal under another name, I was prepared to skewer them into oblivion. But I feel like there's the slightest hint of maple in here, maybe? Or I could just be being optimistic, I don't know. I don't know if these are necessarily preferable to the Crunchberry cereal, but they are definitely a little bit different. Now I think if you mixed these together with the Oops berries, you might have something because you'd have contrasting flavors working together as a unit. But it's pretty clear at this point the captain isn't interested in working together with anybody. He's a fascist dictator who's more interested in treason than unity. Amazingly, I wasn't able to find any online reviews for this one, so I guess his time in Canada was really short. I'm gonna go with an exasperated rating of "Are you squidding me?" Because I can't believe this is a thing, and frankly, I'm a little bit disappointed in the captain's life choices.
Milk and cereal. Cereal, cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk.
Better news is here, my friends. The captain has relocated to America and has discovered a passion for peanut butter. You know, this makes sense to me. Peanut butter has a long shelf life, which is perfect for long ventures out into the 7 seas. Now, this box comes with a game as well, but there is absolutely no way in hell I'm doing a word scramble today. The energy needed for this is more than I'm prepared to give a holiday weekend. And I'd also play this game here to determine which 8 things don't belong in the scene, but I feel like that's like a 12-second game. Like, for example, take this woman down here. She's got an outrageous amount of tobacco crammed into her cheeks. She appears to have a botched lip job, and she's sporting more cleavage than actual boob. She doesn't belong on this box, she belongs on a TLC reality show. This is seriously lacking for peanut butter flavor. What a letdown. On paper, this has tons of potential. I love peanut butter. I'll eat any brand of it. Kraft, Jif, Skippy, Peter Pan, Reese, hell, I'll even mix up that weird powdered stuff and use it. Crappy powdered peanut butter is better than no peanut butter at all. This cereal needs a serious boost to call itself peanut butter, however. I was hoping for something strong, like the Reese's cereal is, but they chose to underwhelm us, and that's just not a path that I want my breakfast cereal to take. Let's check out the online reviews to see if they agree with me. Sean Franklin kicks us off with 2 stars and screams, "They taste different!" I've eaten peanut butter Captain Crunch cereal since I was a child. I stopped eating them for a few years when I decided to eat healthier. The other day, I decided to buy some. However, when I tried them, I noticed they taste different. They taste like the company took out a lot of the peanut butter flavor and added more sugar. I'm really disappointed. Denise Griffith agrees, giving it 1 star and saying, "I do not like the fact they changed the formula and not the name. It should be renamed Hard Sugary Crunch Cereal. The cereal no longer have a flavor at all, especially peanut butter flavor. It simply tastes like little hard crunchy balls of sugar. I will not buy it ever again." I gotta side with the public on this one. You did us dirty, Captain. I'm giving this one a rating with my resting beach face. What a letdown.
Milk and cereal. Cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk.
Our 7th cereal today is the Chocolate Caramel Crunch. I'd say that this has potential, but who the hell knows anymore. The Captain's just been all over the place ever since he defected to Canada. This is another one of the boxes that comes with games on the back, but we're facing yet another maze, and I don't think that I can handle 2 mazes in a single day. We already crashed our intergalactic pen into like a dozen planets, and if you have me start working my way through a chocolate river, it's gonna get worse and worse for me like it did for Augustus Gloop. Oh, and spoiler alert, we're supposed to be looking for Drat the Pirate, but he's totally right over here, like a foot below Twoffall. Now, given that Twoffall doesn't appear to be anywhere near the age of 18, I think it's fairly evident what Drat is wanted for and probably registered as. I like that we're back to dueling flavors. Even though it's just plain old Captain Crunch, we're sticking with the basics. With that being said, I'm not loving this one. I'm not getting enough caramel, and it's the same sort of issue I covered in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch episode. Caramel just doesn't fit the cereal world, and I think it's just one of those things that isn't meant to be. Worse still, reviews are really scarce for this one, so not only are you gonna have to trust me, but you'll never know what it does to your poop. Let's just go with a rating of, what are you doing? Because this cereal needs a little help and enlightenment.
Milk and cereal. Cereal. Milk and cereal. Cereal and milk.
Now, what better way to end this festive episode than to land on Holiday Crunch? It's the Christmas season. We deserve it. And the Captain here has a nice woolly hat that he potentially picked up in Canada, or maybe even Russia if he was seeking political asylum for his crimes against America. He is doing a really lousy job with his string of lights, though. You know, a little precision goes a long way in terms of getting those bulbs set up. The selling point of this box is the fun holiday shapes, which I want to make fun of, but really my wife bakes up like 6 different kinds of gingerbread, and I love them in all sorts of different ways. Shapes do make the holiday more fun. Well, here's the bad news. If you were hoping for anything other than Captain Crunch with Crunchberries, you're in for a serious letdown. This is literally Captain Crunch with Crunchberries. But now here's the good news. Through my long, spiritual journey of trying 8 different kinds of Captain Crunch today, I've come to realize there's nothing wrong with that. The original is great. The original with Crunchberries is great. There's a reason that it's had the staying power to keep on selling boxes for generations upon generations. This is just a festive twist on a classic. And you know what? Let's see if the online reviews agree with me. Damam Mimi gets in the first word, going the full 5 stars and writing festive yum. Colorful, fun to eat. We look forward to it every year. Not really different than regular Captain Crunchberries, but we love it. And we'll give the final review of the day to Austin D, who gives these 5 stars and writes, the most perfect cereal I could ever ask for. It's probably my personal favorite. Also, the stripes on his arm shows that he's a general and that he isn't actually a captain. I feel like I was lied to my entire childhood. Holy crap. Austin's right. Austin, I'm not going to let you ruin my Christmas. I'm simply going to turn a blind eye and let General Crunch run wild on my breakfast table today. I give this a rating of C's and greetings. Well, what have we learned today? We've learned that adding flavor to our Captain Crunch is usually a pretty bad idea. We've learned that Otis is next in line should there ever be a mutiny. We've learned that Drat shouldn't be allowed near children. And most importantly, we've learned the Captain is a general and is probably under siege in an army tribunal. But most importantly, we've learned that the classics stay the classics for a reason. The best Captain Crunch you can get is the one that combines the good stuff with a little bit of Crunchberries. I feel good that we did this exercise. And speaking of feeling good, big props to the two of you who hung on all the way through to the end of this video. Let me know who you are by dropping the hashtag Bosket in the comments below. Thank you as always for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your holiday season. Ciao for now.